Hey guys, thanks for clicking. Appreciate that. So today is it's really early spring. It is end of March. We're gonna just work around the yard a little bit. We're gonna clean up some wood we got laying around. Try to get the caught up on our firewood for the season. So sometimes we get really big, awkward pieces of wood, knots, all kinds of stuff. And you know, it's all good wood. It just takes a little bit more energy and effort to cut it up. So we're going to we'll rip some of it with the saw, which I don't really love to do, but I'm a little old and I'm a little tired, so I don't feel like swinging a big hammer at some of these things. So we're going to chop them up a little bit, and then that way we can easily kind of roll them over to the splitter and get a go on it from there. Because honestly, it's enough work doing it that way. Never mind swinging a hammer. Maybe in my younger days, but I'll show you what we got and what we're gonna do today. So here it goes, cleaning up a little bit. We got our splitter set up. So I try to like to stack some of the pieces, these big pieces, you know, you just get these really awkward type, I mean, what do you do with that? You know, you really can't get that on the splitter in any way, shape or form. Or that one we probably could get over there, but we'll give it a little cut, make it easier to roll. And like some of these over here, I mean, it all busts up into good wood. Like I said, these were all really ugly knots like that, and they take a lot more time. But if you're a little patient, and you know, comes out and it burns really well. But if you don't break them up good, you know, like this is just that's a pretty big log right there. So some of these, so I stack them like 1, 2, 3. I use the machine to do that. I'm not that much of a superhero, but we put them on there, and then we can cut them in half, and then we can just roll them on over to the splitter here and get them going. So we're going to start out with our saw, and we got it sharpened up and fueled up. We're using our 462. Love this saw, it's my favorite. I think I have the bigger bar on it. I have the 28-inch bar on it here, and that gives us a little more reach to get across some of these big logs. And you know, it's tough either way, but let's get it done. All right, let's get this one going here. Let's see, let's get some choke on, pressure release. She's cold. All right, so we got a few pieces cut up there. It's enough. We can get them on the splitter, and now we can move them a little bit because it's just me by myself doing this, so I don't have any helping hand. And you know, I probably could use the machine with the grapple, kind of move them around more, but sometimes you're using too much effort and energy and fuel and all that stuff. So I appreciate a good workout. Swinging that thing a few times, that'll give you a workout, I'll tell you. Keep the heart pumping. So we'll probably fire up the splitter, roll some of those big pieces in there, and make some firewood. So other than obvious stuff of, you know, don't put your hand between the wedge coming down, notice how, like, every time the pressure is on that I step away, wood can snap and crack, especially under pressure, and pieces of that can come flying at you. So you always want to step away and try to get your knees not locked. Keep them bent, so, you know, if that log does come at you, it doesn't bend your knee backwards. Another little tip too, when you get the wood split up into smaller sections, you can make 3 or 4 splits without actually having to pick this piece of wood up. You just kind of angle it. So, you know, 1 piece, 2 piece right there, and just angle the wood as it goes through. And that saves you a lot of extra energy, you know, and you can get a lot more done. And notice, if I don't stand up while splitting, I always cross my knee between the wood and myself, because you don't want your legs to be, inside of your legs to be exposed. So, you know, other than the obvious, you don't want to get hit with something there. You know, you got a lot of major arteries and stuff there, and a piece of sharp wood comes flying. It's not the place you want to get hit. So always remember, if you're not going to stand, you're going to stay down there, angle yourself just like that, and keep yourself safe. And like I mentioned before, I always move my leg, but, you know, remember, a piece of wood comes flying out and it can hit you in the throat. Even though I have eye protection on, ear protection, you always have to remember, it's sometimes when you get really comfortable and you're not paying attention, that's how you can get hurt. And even though this splitter moves really slow and you get a little comfortable, always be cautious, because especially with the knots, they're very unpredictable, and they will get you. Here's another neat little trick. You get a piece of wood here, just bring the wedge down a little bit and then flip it the opposite way, and then you can put it down a little farther and you'll get 4 nice pieces of wood out of a split there without doing extra work. Right there. All right, we're making a little progress here. We've got these ones split up so they're manageable. Now these two, I kind of keep this for hand splitting. Works pretty good. These will turn the machine horizontal for that. This one we had to split with the saw because it was just, I tried to get it on the splitter and it just didn't want to cooperate. So we had to help it along a little bit, but now it's manageable. And this last piece here was pretty long, so we cut that one down a little smaller. But now these are all manageable to get on there. This one I could probably split these with the hammer here. They go pretty easy because they're rotted inside. But you know, like I said, it's a little bit extra work when you're dealing with ugly, knotty wood, but it, you know, takes a little more time, but it works out great. So let's get this last couple big ones on the splitter here. You know, when you're pushing these big logs around, you know, they're heavy and they're awkward, and take your time, bend your knees, don't hurt your back, you know. And another thing, you'll see me adjusting the splitter up a little bit. This is a 10 horse splitter, 35 ton. It's a beast. I seldom run it at full throttle. You really just don't need to. You save a lot of fuel. It goes a little slower, and if, you know, speed's your thing, then okay, speed it up. But you can run it a little slower, and it does the job really well. And, you know, if you hear it struggling, then, you know, pump it up. But other than that, it works pretty good. And here again, I had mentioned before how you can make several splits on one piece. You just don't go all the way down, you know, just crack it again, because like I said, you're making 3, 4, 5 splits sometimes on one piece of wood, and you don't have to pick it up and move it. As soon as you toss it into the pile there, it falls apart into pieces, you know. That's just a little time saver trick. All right, folks, well, that's all for today because it started raining. I don't feel like working in the rain, so we got a lot done, though. And thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And look in the description below for a bunch of products that we use and love every day. Peace. Take care, guys.